I wake up every morning with the years ticking by. I'm missing all these memories, maybe they were never mine. I feel the walls are closing, I'm running out of time. I think I missed the gun at the starting line.
Hello everybody, it's Nate from Echo City Music Lab. Today I'm doing a tutorial for Starting Line by Luke Hemmings. Let's just get into it. So let's start out with the verse chord progression, which is also used in the intro. I recommend getting the chord chart that I linked to down in the description. That way you can follow along and see where all the chords line up with the lyrics. So the first chord is just going to be a D major. With the right hand, that's going to be D, F sharp, and A. And notice I'm doing it kind of low, so that's below middle C in that octave down there. And then with my left hand, I'm just going to do a single bass note on the root, D, down an octave lower, with my pinky. Next chord symbol you're going to see in the verse is a D6, and that's basically just going to be the same thing, except for instead of the fifth with our pinky, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to do a sixth, so one step further. So it's going to be D, F sharp, and B this time. I'm actually going to switch and use my second finger for that F sharp. For my hand, it fits the shape a little better. And then next you're going to see a D major 7. Once again, basically the same thing, except the top note is going to step up again, this time to a C sharp. Often in a major 7 chord we include that fifth, but in this case I'm just going to use the 3 notes. And then the next chord in that progression is just back to the D6. So you can see in the first 2 lines of these verses, the chords are basically the same thing, but you're just stepping up the top note and then going back down. And before we go any further, let's start talking about the rhythm. We're in 4/4 time, so 4 counts per measure, and I'm thinking of this as a pretty fast tempo. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in my right hand, I'm just going to do some gentle half notes, so hitting the chord on the first and third counts of the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
In and out of focus, moments that I keep. Something for the pain and something so I sleep. Won't you come?
So let's do this next part. Next chord is a G. So your left hand bass note is going to change from that D we were doing to the G, where your second finger is already kind of hovering over it. And then the right hand's going to do a D, a G, and a B. So notice your hands stay in more or less the same position. Your left hand just changes the finger, and your right hand thumb is still on D. You're just kind of stretching your third and fifth finger up to hit the G and the B. So that's the G chord, and we've also got a G sus2. The only difference there is instead of this B with your pinky, we're going to do an A with our fourth finger. So D, G, A. And it just goes back and forth between those 2 chords twice, 1 measure per chord. So that's 2 half note hits per chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's what we got so far.
In and out of focus, moments that I keep. Something for the pain and something so I sleep. Won't you comfort me? Warm the air that I breathe. Visceral in doses.
So we just got to the second half of the verse, and the second half of the verse is basically the same thing with just different lyrics. The only difference you'll see is that the very last G chord of that first verse is a G sharp 11. I said the wrong thing when I was recording it. The way you voice that chord is yet again a G in the left hand, D, G, and then a C sharp in the right hand. So the way that works for the last line of that verse is, won't you comfort me? Take the fear I don't need. So that's me stepping up just that top note. It's just this kind of cool lead into the chorus. And it's actually only at the end of the first verse. The second verse ends by going back to that sus2 chord. Now before we do the chorus, let's just circle back to the intro now that we know the chords we need for it. Let me play you the first line of the intro. So the first line of the intro is a D6 chord. It sounds like they kind of strum it from top to bottom, like. And then you've got 2 measures where you just hang out on that chord with your thumb on the D, doing those half notes we were talking about. So on beat 1 and 3 of those 2 measures. So like 1, And then after that, you just do the regular old D chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, with the thumb doing those half notes. Then you just do one time through the verse progression as we learned it, with no singing, of course, including one time through the G line. And we're just playing really gently at the beginning. In and out of focus, and that's the verse beginning. So let's do the chorus now. And this is my favorite part that kind of hooked me in when I first listened to the song. It's really emotional, of course, in the lyrics, but also just kind of baked into the melody and chord progression. Anyway, the first chord of the chorus is an A major chord, so shaped just like our D major chord, white, black, white. That's a A, a C sharp, and a E. And the left hand is going to do a bass note on A. And I'm just going to kind of keep my left hand where it's been hanging out this whole time. I'll do that A with my thumb. The next chord you'll see is an A6. We kind of know how to do that because we did it on the D. So after this A, I'm going to move my second finger to that C sharp, and then our pinky goes up to the sixth, which is in this case an F sharp. So A, C sharp, F sharp. And I'm going to continue that half note rhythm we were doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next chord we've got is a B minor. I'm just going to do a little stretch of my first finger up to B. I don't really need to pull my hand up with it, but I'm playing that B with my thumb. And then in the right hand, actually my pinky can stay on that F sharp, and we're going to move our thumb to B, and then you can use your third finger or your second, I like third, on the D. So B, D, and F sharp. So one measure on that, and then we're going to go down to a G major 7. Now a G major 7 is kind of like a combo of a G major chord and a B minor chord, so we're just going to keep our right hand exactly where it is on the B minor and just step down to a G bass note. In this case, I'm going to do it with my second finger.
I wake up every morning with the years ticking by. I'm missing all these memories, maybe they were never mine.
For the second half of the chorus, the vocal melody keeps climbing up and getting more intense, but the chord progression actually just repeats back again.
I feel the walls are closing, I'm running out of time. I think I missed the gun at the starting line.
Maybe I can belt that like Luke Hemmings.
I think I missed a gun at the starting line.
Not pulling it off. Before we move on, we could add a little bit more rhythm here just to feel like the energy's building. How about I'll add one more left hand bass note hit on the fourth count. Maybe for now, just every other measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just gives it a little bit more movement. Okay, we basically just have one more section to learn. And it shows up after the first chorus as just an 8-measure instrumental section, but after the second and third choruses, it gets extended into the refrain. Chord-wise, it's really simple. We've got a D chord, which we've been doing all along, and we've also got a G chord. For this, I'm going to actually just do a root position G chord. So instead of doing the D down here, I'm going to do it up here. So the right hand's going to play a G, a B, and a D in that order, and it'll just jump up, doing those single left-hand bass notes on the D and the G again. Now here's where on the recording the drums kick in and it starts getting really energetic. So for my version, I'm going to try to capture some of that energy by moving to a more energetic and rhythmic piano part, even though on the recording the piano itself kind of stays chill. But you have a choice. If you want your whole piano cover version to be chill and kind of haunting, maybe stick with something more like that half note rhythm for the rest of the song. So that rhythm we've been doing where we're putting it on every other count, now we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, then 4 measures of G. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. You can keep it there, or you can try another layer or two of rhythm. I'll show you. So to give it some more propulsion, I'm going to sneak in a little left-hand bass note right at the end of each measure on the final 8th note of the measure. So we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm going to do it on the and after 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then beyond that, there's this cool rhythm that happens on the recording, actually on the snare drum. I'm going to try doing that in the right hand. You might be able to just do it by ear, but to count it, we need to think in 16th notes. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. And then there's that and after 4 where the left hand hits that extra note. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a ba 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 ba. I just thought that rhythm would be fun to include. If that feels too tricky, especially when you sing the refrain, no worries. So now you know all the sections, we can just quickly talk through the rest of the structure. After that instrumental, we've got another verse. In terms of the chords and structure, it's just like the first verse, just with different words. Now, since on the recorded version, the drums are now in and they stay in, and I've just established doing a faster quarter note feel, I'm going to keep doing that in the second verse. I'm not going to do that fancy 16th note rhythm, just that 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and
tell me, am I broken? I can never leave, biting on my tongue and checking if it bleeds. Oh, is it lost on me?
If you are doing this more active rhythm, careful not to oversell it. While it is fast and energetic, the verse still does pull back a little bit and get quieter. So you can play fast, but gentle. You don't want to drown out your singing. Then we get to the second chorus. I'm going to keep up that energy with,
I wake up every morning with the years ticking by. I'm missing all these memories, maybe they were never mine.
One additional thing we can do on the very last line of that chorus, playing off what the drums do on the recording, just hit all the eighth notes on those last two measures as it builds into the next instrumental section.
I feel the walls are closing, I'm running out of time. I think I missed the gun at the starting line.
And that build thing also happens on the third chorus, so you can put it there as well. Notice I'm doing a little crescendo, getting progressively louder as those two measures pass. So after you do that second instrumental, just like the first one, that 8 measure long progression happens 2 more times, this time with the words.
Take me alive, make me alive, take me alive, don't look away until it's gone, till it's gone. Take me alive.
And it just does the same thing one more time. All right, and after that, we've got one more chorus, and then one more time for the instrumental plus the refrain. And then if you want to add it, we've got a little outro. And the outro is just one instrumental pass through that verse chord progression. I'm going to pull it back and go back to the half note feel. I was a little unsure about exactly what to do here for an only piano version. On the recording, there's lots of sort of ambient sound swirling around. But I settled on just backing up to basically exactly how I played it in the first verse, except just having my right hand up an octave. Just nice and gentle. And then it just ends on the G sus2. You can let it ring out. All right, y'all, thanks for watching. So we just learned all the pieces. I'm going to do a full cover now, so if it's helpful for you, you can watch the rest of the video and see how it all fits together. If you got value out of this tutorial, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe, turn on the notifications, also give the video a thumbs up. All that'll help me reach more people who might find these videos helpful as well. And while you're at it, let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for what song I should do next. I do look at and consider all of them. Okay, here's my version of Starting Line.
In and out of focus, moments that I keep, something for the pain and something so I sleep. Won't you comfort me? Warm the air that I breathe, visceral in doses, hiding in the seams, standing on the sun and I don't feel a thing. Won't you comfort me? Take the fear I don't need. I wake up every morning with the years ticking by. I'm missing all these memories, maybe they were never mine. I feel the walls are closing, I'm running out of time. I think I missed the gun at the starting. all the things I believe, something like an omen I can never keep, moving on and on, so very bittersweet. Is it lost on me? All the things I don't need. I wake up every morning with the years ticking by. I'm missing all these memories, maybe they were never mine. I feel the walls are closing, I'm running out of time. I think I missed the gun at the starting line. Take me alive, make me alive, take me alive. Don't look away until it's gone, till it's gone. Take me alive, make me alive, take me alive. Don't look away until it's gone, till it's gone.